It's been a few years since I reviewed a few of the classic Universal monster movies, and this past summer I reviewed the remake of this particular monster title, but never reviewed the original. But that's going to change right now. Here's my review of the original version of The Mummy. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Noel Bear, known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1932 pre-code supernatural horror flick, The Mummy, released by Universal, directed by Carl Freund, with a screenplay by John L. Balderston, adapted from a treatment by Nina Wilcox Putnam and Richard Shayer. This, of course, was part of the Universal Monsters franchise, starring Boris Karloff, Zita Johann, David Manners, Edward Van Sloan, and Arthur Byron. The film was released on December 22nd, 1932. Of course, Karloff plays the titular character, Imhotep, an ancient Egyptian mummy who was killed for attempting to resurrect his dead lover. And after being discovered and accidentally brought to life by a team of archaeologists, he disguises himself as a modern Egyptian and searches for his dead lover, whom he believes has been reincarnated in the modern world. Here we go. In 1921, an archaeological expedition led by Sir Joseph Wemple finds the mummy of an ancient Egyptian high priest named Imhotep. In an inspection of the mummy by Wemple's friend, Dr. Muller reveals that the mummy's viscera were not removed, excuse me. And from the signs of struggling Muller, deduces that although Imhotep had been wrapped like a traditional mummy, he had been buried alive. Also buried with Imhotep is a casket with a curse on it. Despite Muller's warnings, Sir Joseph's assistant, Ralph Norton, opens it and finds an ancient life-giving scroll, the Scroll of Thoth. He translates the symbols and then reads the words aloud, causing Imhotep to rise from the dead. This snaps Norton's mind, and he laughs hysterically as Imhotep shuffles off with the scroll. Norton is said to later die, still laughing, in a straitjacket. 10 years later, Imhotep has assimilated into modern society, taking the identity of an eccentric Egyptian historian named Ardeth Bey. He calls upon Sir Joseph's son Frank and Professor Pearson and shows them where to dig to find the tomb of the Princess Ankh-es-en-Amman. After locating the tomb, the archaeologists present its treasures to the Cairo Museum, after which Bey disappears. Bey soon encounters Helen Grosvenor, a half Egyptian woman bearing a striking resemblance to the princess, who stays with Muller. Bey falls in love with her, but so does Frank. After it is discovered that Bey is the mummy Imhotep, Muller urges Joseph to burn the scroll of Thoth. But when Joseph tries to do so, Bey uses his magical powers to kill him and hypnotizes a Nubian to be his slave and bring the scroll to him. After the servant does so, he hypnotizes Helen to come to his place and there reveals to her that his horrific death was punishment for sacrilege as he attempted to resurrect his lover. Alright, now for the ending, procedure. 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below as I count down now. If you've seen this already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Believing her to be the princess reincarnation, he attempts to make her his immortal bride by killing, mummifying, and resurrecting her. Frank and Muller come to her rescue but are immobilized by Bey's powers, which are magical, you know that already. However, Helen is saved when she remembers her ancestral past life and prays to the goddess Isis to come to her aid. The statue of Isis raises its arm and emits a flash that sets the scroll of Thoth on fire. This breaks the spell that had given Imhotep his immortality, causing him to crumble to dust. At the urging of Dr. Muller, Frank calls Helen back to the world of the living while the scroll continues to burn. End of story. So, what did I think of the original version of The Mummy? Well, I'm going to say it was pretty good. I've only seen it a few times, like some of the other monster flicks from Universal. But even so, I thought this was a good film. This is another great Universal monster flick. Although it was less profitable than Dracula and Frankenstein, this was still a commercial and critical success. Going on to make 190, going on a budget of 196,000. Well, I can't really guarantee how much it actually made overall, but nevertheless, it still proved to be good. It was also a success at the box office in the UK. Rotten Tomatoes has this at a score of 89%, saying relying more on mood and atmosphere than it's the thrills typical of modern horror fare. This film sets a masterful template for mummy themed films to follow. Yes, that is an affirmative. Let's see. Yes. Actually, this film has been declared for othering Eastern culture, especially portraying it as being more primitive and superstitious than Western culture. In one scene, Helen longs for the real classical Egypt, disparag- disparaging that she is in contemporary Islamic Egypt. And this was viewed by critic Caroline T. Schroeder as a slight against Islamic culture at the time. However, it is clear that Helen longs to be in ancient Egypt, but does not know why, because she has been reincarnated, living in present day, but had originally lived in ancient Egypt. Well, that's understandable. So, anyway, I'm just going to say that I think this is a very good film and has gone to become such a big success. Unlike other Universal monster films, The Mummy had no official sequel, like the remake from 1999, which had The Mummy Returns and then Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, as well as the prequel film to Mummy Returns and The Scorpion King. The character was reimagined 8 years later in The Mummy's Hand in 1940, and it did get two sequels: The Mummy's Tomb in 1942, The Mummy's Ghost from 1944, The Mummy's Curse also from 44, and the studio's comedy horror crossover film Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. These films focus on the titular character named Clarice. It's Clarice in the Abbott and Costello film. The Mummy's Hand recycled footage from the original film for use in the telling of Clarice's origins, where Karloff is clearly visible in several of these recycled scenes but was not credited, and Lon Chaney Jr. played the character in the three movies, not the Abbott and Costello flick. Years later, British com- the British company Hammer Film Productions took up the Mummy theme, starring with their version of the Mummy in 1959, which rather than being a remake of the Karloff film, is based on the Mummy's Hand and the Mummy's Tomb. The ham there were some follow-ups, including The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb in '64, The Mummy's Shroud in '66, and Blood from the Mummy's Tomb in 1971, are unrelated to the first film or even to each other, apart from the appearance of the Scroll of Life in Curse of the Mummy's Tomb and Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, which that's understandable, and which I've never seen those, but I've heard of Hammer Film Productions though. I know some of my friends have actually talked about them. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, there would also be a remake in 2017, or was that 2018? Hang on one moment, please. Yeah, it was 2017, but it underperformed at the box office despite having Tom Cruise in it. And I've only seen that film one time, but I'm not guaranteeing I'll be reviewing that yet. But anyway, yeah. And James Dietrich does the score for the film, and that was really good too. So I actually feel like The Mummy does have a good feel to it, just like how we expected it to be. Now, anyway, for our cast, we have Boris Karloff as the titular character, and of course, Imhotep and Ardeth Bey. Very good performance. Zita Johann played Helen. Very good. Let's see. David Mayers played Frank Wimple. Good. Arthur Byron played Sir Joseph Wimple. We have Edward Van Sloan as Dr. Muller. And Bramwell Fletcher as Ralph Norton. Let's see. We have Noble Johnson as Nubian. And we have James Crane as Pharaoh. And Leonard Muddy as Professor Pearson. So the cast is pretty good too. So with everything said, the classic Mummy is a good film. So would I recommend it? I would say yes, go for it. If you're into the classic Universal monster films, I think you'll feel right at home with the Mummy, the original classic itself. And I feel like it's just exceptionally good. I definitely need to look at some of those other films. While they may not continue those, but I feel like they still might have what it takes to pull it off. And that is an affirmative. So what did you think of The Mummy, the 1932 classic? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow, make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Share my vids with your friends if you wish. Maybe they'd like to be part of my Big D Nation. And next time I'll be bringing to you my Saturday morning TV log of What's New, Scooby-Doo. So if you like this, check out my reviews of the remake and its sequel. The upper left-hand corner is the remake of The Mummy from 1999, and the upper right-hand corner is my review of its sequel, The Mummy Returns. Or if you'd like another movie monster, you can see my review of the original Frankenstein, which Boris Karloff, of course, played the monster itself. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.